Do it.
Mr. Batman.
You want to have the honors, or you want me to?
Yeah, I can do that.
Let's do it.
Mr. Batman, you are on the Atheist Experience with Shannon Q and Johnny P. Please mind your P's and Q's with us. What you say, why atheists want scientific evidence for God when science presupposes God doesn't exist. Okay, let her rip.
Well, good evening, boys and girls. It's good to be on the show. Thank you very much for having me. I am Mr. Batman. I am also a science teacher. So in order to do science, you have to have certain natural aspects that have to be in place, such as the uniformity of nature. The uniformity of nature is the fact that all of the physical world works under uniform law-like patterns. We call these uniform law-like patterns natural laws, like laws of gravity, magnetism, thermodynamics, logic, mathematics. Where do those laws come from? Why do they not change over time? And why are they going to be here tomorrow?
I'm sorry, you lost me on the precept script there. Sorry, I zoned out. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What's called a covenantal apologist. I understand that we have a covenant with a loving, living, logical lawgiver God.
Cool. You believe we have a covenant with a loving, living, logical lawgiver. Please prove that we have a covenant with a loving, living, natural, or whatever lawgiver. Living. Did I miss an L?
Be in Exodus. That would also
living, loving.
Autonomy.
She's just a woman.
Proof that God exists is the Bible itself. But in order for us to actually make
the proof that God exists is the Bible itself. Wow. So a napkin that says everything on this napkin is true is proof that everything on the napkin is true. And then I say you should give Johnny $1 million. It's the right thing to do. Would therefore be true? No, you don't mean that. So what do you actually mean by that?
Have the laws of cause and effect, sir?
Did you hear anything that I said?
He's just talking straight through it.
Yeah, he's just talking straight through. You're going to have to slow your roll there, Mr. Batman, because we're not as sharp as you are, Dark Knight of Logic. So please give us. Let's break it down. Why is the Bible the thing that we must turn to?
I'm talking about the covenant. That's the evidence for the covenant is the Bible. Now,
okay. So why should we believe that the Bible is true?
Relationships are necessary.
Why should we believe that the Bible is true, Mr. Batman?
The sum of his word is truth. What is truth, sir? Can you tell me what truth is?
What is truth? It's that which comports with reality.
Excellent. That's the correspondence theory of reality. Since you need reality in order to actually know what is true, where does time, space, and matter come from? Because that's
I don't know. I don't know where time, space, and matter come from.
Now that you define truth, tell me how the universe came into existence. Yeah. God's real!
Iluvatar created the Ainur, and they sang the universe into existence, but then Melkor became Morgoth, sang a discordant tune. No, it's in the book. It's in the book. He sang a discordant tune, and then Iluvatar's like, you know what, Melkor? I predicted that. I'm weaving your discordant tune into the main theme of the Song of the Ainur. So, sorry, bro. And then the Valar went out into Ea, and they created the world of Arda as the song predicted. And then while they were creating it, they created the first children of Iluvatar, the elves, right? And then I think it was Orome. Got really I'm so excited about the children. So he created the dwarves. Maybe he created the dwarves first, but then I think it was Iluvatar said, no, you can't do that. Okay, I'll stop.
Is this Lord of the Rings? Oh, okay, sorry. I'm
Silmarillion.
Wow. Oh, fair. Okay. I don't know.
But it's in the book, Shannon. It's in the book, and it's proof of itself. So all we have to do is, no, what do we have to do? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Batman. Tell us the real deal.
About science. Would you like to talk about science, sir? Because science requires cause and effect relationships. I'm having a
good time talking about Tolkien. Yeah. Science is a process. I know that.
Straight through the whole thing.
Yeah.
You just kept going, but Mr. Batman, you kept going through everything Johnny said as though he wasn't even speaking. Did you call to have a discussion, really, or is this a presuppositional apologist?
Presuppositionalist. I'm a covenant.
Where do you?
gave you my answer. You don't like
Shannon.
me. I don't really care. I'm asking science. In the previous caller, you were talking about truth and science. I have science.
We were having a great conversation with the previous caller because they're an honest interlocutor, and I was enjoying exploring the concepts with them because we could have a back and forth where we both listened to each other. Like this is how conversations generally work. One of us says mouth noises out of their face, and then the other person uses their ear holes to listen to those mouth noises and waits for that to be done. And then they think about the thing you said, and then they make mouth noises that reflect that they were thinking about that thing that they were listening to. What's happening here is that we're attempting to have a conversation with you, and the moment we interject, you just keep on talking until we take you off mute and then get agitated.
And that's why the previous caller is invited back. You may or may not be invited back, Mr. Batman.
I'm asking you a question.
All right.
Okay. Invited back or not?
Fair enough. You know what? I don't care if you don't care.
Why do laws?
But ask me the question. I'll try to answer. I might just say, I don't know. Go ahead. And if you think that's a gotcha,
exactly,
it's not going to be a gotcha.
Yes, it is a gotcha. It is a gotcha because your worldview must be able to explain everything in the world that you view. That's why it's called a worldview, sir.
Really?
Once again.
Shannon, do you think that's true? Do I have to be able to explain everything? Why don't I? If I could do that, I'd go to Vegas.
So also, if you have, I can propose something like I can propose something that explains everything. Just definitionally, I can define that concept into existence. Right? That's the whole flying spaghetti monster thing, right? Like you can posit something that explains everything and then just point to it and say that explains everything, but it doesn't, right? Like there's nothing useful that you can glean from that. You can't do anything in reality with that concept that is helpful to acquiring knowledge. All it is just a posit of something that explains everything and then acting as though it does. Now, does my worldview need to explain everything? No, it doesn't. It doesn't need to explain everything to be true. But I, Shannon, know doesn't need to explain everything that is existent in the external reality around me in order for it to be true. And as a part of my worldview, as a matter of fact, one of the things that I am proudest of in my worldview is that I don't actually think it explains everything just definitionally. I think that one of the most interesting and fascinating and beautiful things about my worldview is its humility. It is I understand that I need to learn things. I do not wander around saying, I have the explanation for everything. And if you can't acquiesce to this ridiculous philosophical, gotcha that I have come up with, then that means not only is your worldview nonsense, but apparently, evidently, by some logical leap that I can't even begin to fathom, also simultaneously believes that my worldview is true, and my worldview has to do with all of these internally inconsistent things that I'm not even going to address, by the way. We're not going to talk about what I actually believe. Instead, what we're going to talk about is why I think that your belief system or structure is nonsense because it doesn't explain everything when mine does. Like it's just a circular nonsense, non-productive conversation. Are we going to do something different than that today, or should we just hang up because it drives me nuts?
Yeah, Shannon, God magicked it into existence. So there you go. That explains everything, and that's obviously superior to your ever-evolving, ever-unfolding understanding of the world and the human race's ever blooming understanding of the material world. No, God magicked it happened. It has an answer for everything. Therefore, checkmate forever, atheists. Go get your shine box.
I'm convinced.
To be able to do the scientific method.
You just kept talking. Okay, goodbye. See you later. Well, that sure was fun. You just kept
in quotation marks.
I don't know how you can even. Oh man, like what motivates someone to wake up in the morning and
the Holy Spirit.
Yeah,
the Holy Spirit.
The power of Christ compelled them. All right. You ready for the next one?